Okay, so question 18 was as follows. In the diagram below, A, B, and C are points on a level ground. The bearing of B from A is 032 degrees. Angle ACB is equal to 100 degrees, and AC is equal to BC. Find the bearing of A from C, B, C from B. Okay, so those are the bearing we need to find. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to expand it and also write the, so as you can see, we are supposed to draw a north line on C to help us to find the bearing of A from C, as well as we are supposed to write a north line, imaginary north line on B to help us to find the bearing of C from B. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand and draw the lines. Yes, like that. Okay. Once I've done that, the next thing I'm going to do is now, as you can see, I've drawn the lines. Then we need to identify the bearing we want to find. So the bearing we want to find is this one. Okay, so this is the bearing we need to find. Okay. Now it is easier to find the bearing which is A from C. Okay, which is A from C. Okay, so the problem which is here is there is a certain angle that we don't know its value. So we don't know the value of this angle here. Okay, there, I don't know if you can see it here, this angle here, which is the angle from the angle which we can call B to angle BC north. Okay, so angle BCN. Okay, so that angle we don't know its value, so it will be very difficult for us to find the value of, or the bearing of A from C. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to first find the value of angle BCN. Okay, BCN. So to find this angle, what we're going to do is first we're going to look at this entire diagram. We see where there is a loophole or a weakness for us to start from. So now when you look at this diagram, you notice there is a triangle, which is this one. This is a triangle. Okay, this is the triangle. Okay, now when you look at this triangle, you notice that this line is equal to this line. Okay, so that means this is isosceles triangle. So since it's isosceles triangle, that means the angles, which is the angles BAC and angle ABC, are equal. So this angle, the ones I've marked by black mark, I hope we can see it, and this angle, these two angles are equal. So when we know that the sum of interior angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. Now, since we're given 100 degrees, which is at the degree, which is the angle which is at C, is equal to 100 degrees, then we can easily find the angles, which is angle BAC and angle ABC. We can find them. So what we can do is just we subtract 100 from 180 degrees. We subtract 100 from 180 degrees, which will leave us with 80. Now 80, since these two angles are equal, we divide 80 by 2, which will going to give us 40 degrees here and there, 40 degrees. Okay, I hope you have followed me very well. Okay, so that is the first thing we need to do. Okay, and you also in an exam, you need to do this first. Even you can do it even before you draw the lines. Okay, so once you have done this, the next thing we're going to do is once we have found the value of the angles, then what we are going to do next is we are going to now to find the angles. So we're going to go further and find the angles. Now when you look at this, we need to find the angle which is BCN. Now we don't know what the value of angle BCN. Therefore, we are going to consider this line and this line. These are two parallel lines. And then this line here, which is line AB, is a transversal. So when you treat line AB as a transversal, that means this angle here, 32 degrees, is equal to this angle, which is where we can see 40 here. This angle, it's equal. Okay, so we're saying this 32-degree angle and this angle from line AB to that red line, they are equal. That means that angle is also 32 degrees. Now when you look at the angle from line AB to line BC is equal to 40 degrees. That means when we subtract 32 from 40 degrees, what remains there, that is the value of angle CB and this line which comes here on the red line here. Okay, so that means what I'm saying is now is what we're going to do is we're going to subtract 40 minus 32, which is going to give us 8 degrees. So I'm talking about this angle here. Okay, I hope you are able to see the angle that I'm talking about. That's what the angle I'm talking about. So I'm saying this angle here and this angle, they are equal. Then the difference is the measure of that angle, which I have marked by blue ink. Okay, so what we're going to do now, is we're going to find the difference of 40 and 32, which will give us 8 degrees. So 8 degrees is the value of the angle which I've labeled in blue there. Okay, now if that angle is equal to 8 degrees, then we can now use that property by using, when we consider this line and this line as parallel lines. Okay, these two red lines, we consider them as parallel lines, and the line BC as a transversal line. That will help us to determine the value of this angle here. Okay, now what I'm trying to say is that these two angles which are in blue, when you consider these lines, which is the line which is on the north line which is on C and the north line which is on B, they are parallel lines, and line BC is a transversal line. That means these angles I have marked in blue are alternate angles and they are equal. That means this angle is also 8 degrees. Okay, now I hope you have followed me on how we have come up to this where I've gotten 8 degrees, the one I've put here. If you haven't seen the 8 degrees I've written, it's here. Okay, they are in the middle, that is 8 degrees. Okay, that's the value of that angle. Now if that is the value of that angle, now it can be easier for us to find the bearing of A from C. Okay, the one which is marked in purple. So what we can do now, we can add, because we can add 100 degrees plus 8 degrees, that will give us 180 degrees. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use a property which is called angle at a point add up to 360 degrees. So we're going to subtract 108 degrees from 360 degrees. So we're going to write it like this: 360 degrees minus 108 degrees. So if you are getting confused on where we're getting 108 degrees, is we're getting from, so the angle is starting from here on the red line up to on the black line here. Okay, from the red line, which is the line which is NC, to the line which is AC. So that is the angle which is giving us 108. Then we're going to, now what we're going to do now, we're going to subtract 108 from 360 degrees, which will give us 200, which will give us 252 degrees. 252 degrees. So this is the bearing. So since it's a bearing, we can read it as 252 degrees. 252 degrees. Okay, if you have got questions, I'll be glad to respond in the comment section. Okay, now we come to question B. Okay, so question B, we ask to find the bearing which is C from B. So the bearing we want to find is okay, let me just move that. So the bearing we're supposed to find is this one here. Okay, this is the bearing we want to find, the one which is marked in blue. In case you're wondering, it's this bearing we want to find, the one I've marked in blue there, light blue ink. That's the bearing we want to find. Okay, so now this is the bearing we want to find. As you can see now, as well as here, you can see that the line, the light blue line, the arc there is not reaching the red line here for it to be 180 degrees. When you look at it, when you draw this line, the green line, this is 180 degrees. It's a full straight line now. Okay, but when you look at the light blue line inside, it's not reaching the red line to make it 180. So there is a difference that the angle in blue is smaller than the one which is in crazy green. Okay, so since that is the scenario, so what do we do? So we need to identify the difference, the angle that is making it, that is a difference in these two angles. So you see that the angle which is a difference in these two angles is this one I've labeled in pink. I'm sure you are able to see where I'm writing, where I've circled there. So the angle which is a difference is this one here. This is the angle which is a difference of two angles, the one which is in pink. Okay, so that's a difference. So that means that angle, we need to subtract that angle from 180 to get the value of this angle in the right blue. So to do that, what we're going to do is, okay, let me do this. Okay, what we're going to do here is, now we're going to write 180 degrees. Then what is the value of that angle which you have drawn in pink? It's 8 degrees. So we're going to say 180 degrees minus 008 degrees. Don't worry, don't be bothered with those two zeros. They are just the same as 8 degrees. They do not change any value of the degree there. Okay, so 180 degrees minus 8 will give us 172 degrees. So 172 degrees is the value of the bearing from C to, also, sorry, is the value of the bearing of C from B. Okay, you see 72 degrees. That's the bearing of that that is C from B. Okay, so if you have got questions, you can ask in the comment section. Otherwise, this is how you deal with this question. And you can also check on our videos, the playlist. We have dealt with this kind of questions so many times. So just go, since this is GCE Paper 1 2021, go to other Paper 1 playlists. You see a lot of videos where we talked about this. Okay, you can also check on grade 9 work. There is a lot of bearing work from there, so you can check on those videos. Otherwise, let's go to the next question.